What's up, guys? This is Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I wanted to talk about something very, very important about the markets. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. Deposit $100 and you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposits $2,000 and you're guaranteed 30, and the offer ends at the end of March. So, anyways, the market's likely going to try some kind of rebound move. And if we do get a nice continuation, the question is, can we first off hold above 565 for that to happen? And if that does happen, how high will the market go, right? Is the market going to dump more later? Is the market going to continue to pump to new all-time highs? What's going to happen from here? Let me give you guys a quick answer. So I just want to inform you all, though, that I'm going on a very important trip this weekend. So I'm not sure when I'm going to upload a video on Sunday. It might be in the evening. So don't be scared if I don't upload anything for like the first 12 hours of the day on Sunday. I just want to give you guys a heads up about that. So hopefully I have time to upload a video on Sunday. If anything, I should be able to do it by the evening time. But that's why I want to give you guys a quick update right now. So I first want to mention that when you look at our economic data, okay, there's still a lot of fear of inflation going up. Consumer sentiment is still relatively weak. We also have some economists from JP Morgan who are saying that there's a 40% chance we see a recession this year, despite the fact that we're not seeing unemployment really spiking as high as it typically should, to enter a recession, or we're not really seeing like business profits tanking too hard. So we're not officially in a recession yet, at least on paper, until we start to see some indicators really like set off, until we start to see unemployment spiking and things like that. But we do have the potential to enter one with the high interest rates, and other factors could also cause that. Now, what is Donald Trump thinking? I think it's very important to remember this. Donald Trump mentioned that he doesn't want to be watching the stock market too much. He's not really doing that because his view is that, yes, there's going to be some short term pain, even with his tariffs. There's going to be pain coming, but the short term pain is going to be worth it for the long term. Donald Trump also said he believes there's not going to be a recession. I think we're going to be fine, and he thinks there's going to be a lot of growth coming. I think there will be lots of growth coming for years to come, but for the shorter term, for this year, even going into next year, there still will possibly be an economic contraction, maybe even a recession that is seen. Now, what do I mean by recession? Because you have to remember that there's different definitions of a recession. Many people may describe the current economic events as a recession, but at the same time, that depends on our data because you need 2 consecutive negative GDP quarters. You also need to see unemployment spike. You need to see a lot of things kind of like correlate with that phase. We're not really there yet. So I just want to say that, even though we're not there, there's still potential for us to enter that, and that could still cause a lot of downside for the markets in the future. So, what I think is going to happen is this. I think that if we are going to get some kind of bounce, first off, we need confirmation first, whether it's the government shutdown being avoided, or the ceasefire news between Russia and Ukraine, or something else that could be helping the market push. We also have FOMC coming out for this week. Whether that causes the market to pump higher or not doesn't matter because I still believe there's going to be a big downside move again, and I think SPY will eventually fill this gap at 534. So there is still this gap way down here, all the way down here at 534. And there were instances where, if you look, for example, at like 2022, when we entered a bear market, we we saw this big dump on SPY, right? We got this big dump over here all the way down to 420. Then we rallied back up to about 458. Then we continued the next leg down. We saw another rally during the summer. Then we continued to dump as time went on, right? And we see this common trend during a lot of like bearish periods. If you look at what happened in 2023, we entered a very bearish phase where SPY went from 458. That was the all-time high at its time, all the way back down to 409, right? We got over, like 12% pullback. We dumped really hard. We got a temporary bounce, then we continued to sink amidst economic fears and other factors. And this is a very, very common trend. So in this case, there's a very good chance the same thing is going to happen. If I remove my drawings and actually go and pull up our fib retracement line, you guys could see that we're very much just like in a very oversold territory. And if we get back above the 0.236 fib level, that's going to be our 565 area. I could be looking for us to get very close to our like 0.382 to zero point 0.5 retracement zones. That also aligns with our 20 EMA, very close to like 575 plus. Could we go higher? Maybe. That's just a big maybe, but this is not financial advice when I say this, but that could be another shorting opportunity. But it depends on how high we go. And here's the thing about this: I don't know how high we're going to go because it depends on so many factors. So if we start this rebound move like this, let's just say we hold above 565, just hypothetically, could we push for 575? Sure, that could happen for like a week or so. And then could we go even higher? It depends. It depends on FOMC. That's going to be one of the biggest factors. Does Jerome Powell pump the markets? Does he cause a big rug pull? It depends on what the market ends up doing after seeing the interest rate projections. Will we just see a temporary dead cat bounce for like a couple of days and then we continue to sink back down to my like 535 targets? That's going to be a very, very good level. This gap fill down here is also a very, very nice confluence. This aligns very close with that 540 to 535 zone, which is where we had this like previous support right here. I think that's going to be a big support for us. So make sure you watch that very closely. It's still possible we make a move like this. So my point in making this video is just to tell you that I'm not officially like a big bull. I don't think the market's going to explode forever. There's a very good chance we do return to this level sometime this year. And then we could be looking for a monstrous bounce from there. If not, we could be dipping lower, but we'll see about that. However, I don't know if we peak at 575. We could even go higher, right? We could go even higher than this to like 590, depending on what happens with FOMC and factors like this and how high this rally goes. So my strategy is just take it one day at a time, see the market pump, however much of a pump we get. I'm going to be looking at this as an opportunity, and I'll take it one day at a time and wait and see if we get some like topping signals. So the 0.618 fib level also lines very close with 590. That could be it. Could we go even higher? We'll see, guys. But I do believe that we're going to see a move like this. Okay, there's going to be a temporary move up, but there might be further downside because of recession talk, because of more tariffs. Also, it's possible that we continue to rally. If it lasts like 2 weeks, we could rally up until like Trump's new retaliatory tariffs, and then that could be the factor to cause us to dip again. I don't know, guys. It all depends. There's so many ifs and buts with geopolitics and such. I can't make a 100% accurate prediction on this. But it all depends on all these different factors. Then when you look at the QQQ, it's the same thing. Let me just clear up my lines real quick. So with the QQQ, there's two big supports, which are now going to become resistances, which I'm going to be watching for. So just like SPY, it depends on if we could hold above 480 to get this temporary bounce. I hope we hold that depending on the Russian news and Ukraine, depending on how we react to the shutdown being avoided. But one thing worth mentioning is that if you look at the QQQ, we have this level right here around this like 450 area. That could also be tested. I'm going to be looking at that as a very, very major level. Why is that? Because when you go back on the charts, there's previous resistance becoming support here, and then this is a very, very big support for us if we end up dumping even more. So we hit 465 already, but I don't think that we're completely done with the selling. So what I presume is going to happen is this. If we truly see a rebound like this, I want to see us hold at least 480. If we hold above that for another day, I'm going to be looking for 485 plus. I could be looking for very close to this 494 area to 500 in that range. I think that's a very, very good range because there's this key level right here I'm looking for. So if you look at this support right here, I'm going to be watching to see if this is tested right over here or not. We might be returning right over here to the support. So that might become our next resistance. And there's a good chance we might be trying to retest that. So, I'm gonna be looking for a nice rebound move like that. Whether Jerome Powell launches us or if we get a rug pull by then, whether we come all the way up here by FOMC and then we get some kind of big rejection like this, or if we continue to rally past that into like the low 500s and then we see another leg down, that could also be what's about to happen. Those are just possibilities for now. So I'm just here to tell you that I don't think the downside's completely done yet because there's going to be a lot of fear about a recession coming. Donald Trump is going to be announcing more tariffs starting on April 1st. Maybe approaching that date, the market tries to push just for like a week or two, just for a temporary relief move. And that could be setting us up for another big downside move. So you want to keep that in mind, guys. That's another strong possibility. When you look at stocks like Tesla, for now, Tesla's trying to rebound, but let me just say that we I think we have more gaps on it. So I'm a little concerned about some of these gaps. So for instance, there's actually a gap that's I think we filled this gap to 220, but it depends if it could hold 200 moving forward. If not, if 200 breaks, we're looking for like 180 is one major support. And then we also have this gap down to 142, which I'm not too sure if Tesla's going to dump that hard. Unless we enter a recession, then yes, I could see that. So on Tesla, it could be the same thing that's going on essentially. This could also be like a temporary move down. So if you look at this big dump move, you can actually look at it like this, draw out our fib level from here. We could be hitting our 0.382 to zero point 0.5 retracement zone near this like 275 to 292 area. And then we also have 300 at our 200 EMA. So if we're truly going to see some kind of rebound, it may also be a temporary move, just like this, back up to this zone here. But then we could see further declines because Tesla loves to bottom out around April. There could be another big dump again, back down towards that like low 220, if not the 180s again. There's still a possibility of that. Depending on Trump's tariffs, Elon Musk mentioned that the tariffs are going to be affecting Tesla. So he warned the Trump administration to be a little bit careful about that, how it's going to be affecting US companies. But he did also mention that the tariffs are going to be worth it for the long term. And it's something that Tesla has to kind of face. The reason for that, and the reason why he is like, kind of still in favor of the administration is because he believes that the effect it's going to have on FSD is going to make it so worth it, even if it causes some pain for like, the prices for Teslas and things like that. But anyways, there could be more downside coming. For the short term, if we get a follow through move and we get some good catalysts, we could continue to pump. There could be more upside coming. The bulls may continue to pump things even higher. Okay. So more upside could be coming. Buyers could continue to come in. That's awesome. However, as time goes on, I want to warn you all that the downside might not be done from this point on, especially because we could also draw out a trend line right over here. So if you take a line like this is also like a really big resistance on Tesla. Will we pump closer to this trend line and then reject? We'll see. Will we reject because of Trump's tariffs or something else like that? We'll have to see, but I don't think the downside's done yet, right? I'm not 100% convinced quite yet. So temporarily, yes, we're bullish, but I'm not saying this is going to take us to new all-time highs yet. Unless we just continue to break out, then my view could change. Unless Tesla breaks this trend line, for example. But so far on the charts, we have to be open-minded. So what is Donald Trump's intention? I just want to remind you all, he wants to bring down the government's interest by, causing pain to incentivize the Fed to cut more. He wants more cuts, and he has a different way of achieving that. He can't control Powell directly, but he could cause things in the economy that may cause short-term pain, which will, in his opinion, be worth it. Elon Musk says the same thing. I'm not here to tell you he's right or wrong. I'm just here to tell you guys about what is at least going on so far. So just keep this in mind. I'm not here to be super precise. I'm not here to be I'm not here to be 100%, honest about every specific level in this video. I'm just trying to give you guys a decent idea of how the direction may end up looking. So for more precision, just watch my daily updates because every day there's some new news that comes out that could affect the way we move. And that's why you want to be on top of everything. So I thank you all so much for listening. Please have a good weekend. I'll be back very soon. Just as a reminder, I'm going on a trip, so I might not be able to upload in the daytime on Sunday, but I might be back during the evening time. Hopefully, I'm back on time. So thank you for listening. Have a good one. Enjoy the weekend and peace out.